One of the reasons so few people in the Bexley area know about its incredible aviation history is that so much of the evidence has disappeared. The birthplace, at least from a design point of view, of the Vickers Vimy was the Vickers Design Centre at Gravel Hill, Bexley Heath. As you sweep down Gravel Hill, it's quite hard to picture Bexley Heath as it once was. The area is now dominated by the Marriott Hotel and it's changed out of all recognition. It's exciting to see when the camera pans around from the engine shed and forge and you can finally see where the Vickers Vimy first saw the light of day. The doors of the shed swing open and you see the first prototype engine on its stand, spluttering to life. The propellers spin and the century that divides us from the era drifts away as the blades twirl like some form of time machine. It was on the 16th of August 1917 that Vickers Aviation Chief Designer, Rex Pearson, was summoned to the Hotel Cecil in the Strand and given the task of designing a twin-engine biplane bomber capable of attacking targets in Germany. This was spurred by the public-led demand for revenge following the Gotha raids that had claimed the lives of many Londoners, as well as the brave young Sopwith Pup pilot, Second Lieutenant Wilfred Salmon. Design and production of the prototype FB-27 took place in this shed. Progress was extremely rapid. Within the space of 4 months, the plane was ready, and on the 30th of November 1917, it made its maiden flight from Joyce Green Aerodrome, piloted by Vickers test pilot Captain Gordon Bell. The camera pans up and we have a final aerial view of the Vickers Gravel Hill site, a view last seen in the 1960s when the site was finally swept away. The opening scene of the film swings the viewer through the gates of Joyce Green Airfield, close to its southern entrance and the site of the original Vickers experimental hangars. The concrete entrance apron to the main Vickers experimental hangar you see here still remains. Part hidden in the long grass of the marshy fields, it's there to this very day. We then find ourselves riding on a costly tender, the RFC workhorse that once ferried gallivanting air aces like Mannock and McCubbin to Dartford Station. The drainage ditches are clearly visible here, absolutely vital for an area below sea level. The airfield itself was crisscrossed by ditches covered with boards. It covered 121 acres of low-lying marshland. The hangars, workshops and ground staff quarters were at the northern end of the airfield, alongside the Longreach Tavern. Those young trainees like Wilfred Salmon would have arrived here on the costly tender from Dartford Station full of excitement and anticipation for what lay ahead of them. I'm sure many of them had their head in the clouds. When we are invited to join them in their flight of fancy, rising up into those blue Kentish skies, we can get a true appreciation of the scale of RFC Joyce Green. We're then taken across the parade ground from beneath the wheels of one of the Crossleys, sheltering beneath the covered motor shelter. The Crossleys arrive and we can imagine the young Wilfred Salmon, fresh from training at Oxford but scarred by the battlefields of the Somme, arriving and being invited to explore the site. Of course, first stop would be having a pint in the Longreach Tavern, then a visit to the wooden sheds of the mess, a view of that table and maybe, perhaps, dreams of a military cross, just like the one his brother Bob won on the Somme. However, what young Whiff really wants to see, I would imagine, is the hangars, or more specifically, what's in those hangars. The latest fighting biplane from the Sopwith Company, the Pup, the realisation of all of his dreams. You can picture the first time he had a chance to fly a Pup solo, rising above the V-shaped hangars, laughing at the thought of the message that V gave writ large to the German Gothas that would pass this way along the river to their London target. A message of defiance from the RFC, then drawn back to land on the distinctive landing circle at the heart of the airfield. The Royal Flying Corps flag flutters from its mast in the river breeze, welcoming you as a new recruit.